Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. So you guys are probably wondering, why do I have a 2022 BMW G80 M3 competition in my possession? Now I'm going to go over that in a little bit as to why. If you guys have been following me, you guys are aware that I am a huge BMW M3 nut. The M3 is kind of my car, minus the Porsche 911. The M3 is one of those cars that I absolutely have loved since I was a kid. I personally owned a 2004 E46 M3. It was carbon black on cinnamon. I absolutely love that car. It was one of those cars that I wish I never got rid of. I owned that car for 4 years, and it was just one of those things that you don't forget. Once you drive an M car, it's one of those things that honestly, it's hard to get out of your mind. You compare every single car you ever drive to one of those. It's just one of those things that I really always wanted to get back into. Now, just a few quick specs on this car. This is the new G80 M3. This is the competition package, the X-Drive, so it's all-wheel drive, which is the first time BMW has ever put an all-wheel drive system in their M3. The color is called a Brooklyn Gray. The interior is the red. I forget the name of the actual red interior, but it is beautiful and it looks fantastic. I'm such a big fan on colored interiors on BMWs. Like I said, mine was a carbon black, which was black and blue mixed together, but I had the cinnamon interior, which is the orangey peanut butter looking interior. Always love the contrast between a really bright and vibrant interior on a pretty simple plain exterior. I think it just looks fantastic, and I'm just always a big fan of it, and I'm just naturally drawn to that color combo. Yes, we are looking at the controversial front end of this G80 M3. Yes, in person it does look better. It doesn't look as bad as it does on film or in pictures. It blends in, it fits the car very well, honestly, but it still takes some time getting used to. Otherwise, around the entire car, the side profile, which we will go over here real quick, which you guys have already seen, this side profile looks amazing. I absolutely love the way that looks, super aggressive. The rear end is beautiful. I love this rear end. Not to mention the super wide hips, which is one of the reasons why I love the sedan version, and one of the reasons why I just always have loved M3s. It's one of those characteristics on the M3 that just kind of stands out from the rest. They always do super aggressive front and rear fenders on these cars, and I just think they look amazing, and I absolutely love the way they look. So let's get into the nitty gritty. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Why the heck do I have a brand new G80 M3 competition in my possession? Well, I had to snake you guys just a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't normally do that. It's one of those things that not every single day you get a chance to kind of live with a G80 M3, a brand new M3, and have it in your garage for about a week. This is actually one of my good friends. He just picked it up. It has 300 miles on it. He picked it up brand new a couple days ago, and he's been driving it like crazy. So the reason why I actually have it is because I'm actually going to detail it for him, go and ceramic coat it. I've detailed quite a few of his cars in the past. I did his yellow S3, his Tesla, and now that he just picked up this new G80 M3, I'm going to detail it for him. So I honestly wish I can say that I was able to be in a financial position to own the G80 M3, the STI, the truck, and the Telluride. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna troll you guys and say that I can do that at this point, but it is nice to have this in the garage. And the reason why is because if I ever sold the STI or if I ever needed a replacement, an M3 is definitely on the list. It's one of those cars, like I said, is still on my mind, and I've always kind of want to get back into. And don't worry, my friend gave me permission to go out for a drive and just kind of get a feel for it. Obviously, we couldn't do anything crazy because it's still in the break-in period, but he did promise me that once it is broken in, we can go out for a proper drive in this car. He's gonna let me drive it and can really feel how this thing feels. Just kind of driving around town, it does feel very smooth. These cars really shine when you start opening them up, when they get into the higher RPM range, when you take them to the track and really start pushing them. So it's really hard to say how amazing this car is on the street, but just kind of playing around with it a little bit, you can definitely feel how amazing this car is and how well it can handle. I will say it is definitely not as raw as the previous generations. This feels very GT car kind of feeling, very comfortable, which is not a bad thing. It's a great all-around car, and it definitely is fun. I was playing around with the paddle shifters a little bit, getting a feel for it. Again, I really couldn't push it, so I couldn't really get a good feel for how overall how quick it was. This is 503 horsepower from the factory, which is plenty. So it definitely felt good, but overall it was super quiet inside. The exhaust is super quiet. It's very hard to just hear the car. It does sound good than the previous generation, the F80. The F80 from the factory does not sound that good at all. Obviously there's fixes with that, with the equal length mid pipe, but this does from the factory sound quite a bit better than that. So the reason why I'm so excited to have this for the week and detail it and kind of live with it for a little bit is to give me an idea, you know, is this something that is worth replacing the STI with? Now, it's going to be really hard to answer that since I'm primarily going to be spending time with it in the garage, detailing it, ceramic coating and all that. But it still gives you a good idea of what it's like to live with it. You know, coming out to the garage, seeing it, is this something that I can see myself owning one day, seeing it in the garage, it being my car? I don't know. That's not going to be possible to really figure that out in 6 or 7 days. Now the front end, as I mentioned, is not my favorite. In person, like I said, it does look a little bit better. It's not as in your face in person. It does fit the car, as I mentioned. The actual kidney grills is not what bothers me. What bothers me is actually the hood and the top of the bumper. I'm not a really big fan of the indents on the hood here. I wish they made them at least functional. This is literally just a stamped piece of metal just for looks. And the other part I'm not crazy about is this top bump here. I hate how it dips down and comes back up. It looks a little, as they say, pig nosy. But overall, it doesn't really look that bad. The grills are pretty massive. There is a fix for them. Vorsteiner did come out with an option for that to make it look a little bit better. Overall, the grill is not what really bothers me. It's just kind of the top end part. Now, usually what BMW does in about 3 years or so into their generation, they do an LCI or a refresh. So maybe they will adjust that then. Now, the interior of this is absolutely beautiful. It is a beautiful place to be. This is worlds better than previous generations. Everything feels fantastic. The steering wheel is always one of my favorite parts about owning an M car or driving an M car. It's super thick, has a really nice feel to it. The diameter of it is really nice. They did go to a full digital gauge cluster, which I'm not crazy about. He did not opt for the M seats, which I would have done if I spec'd this car out. They're super nice. They have the carbon backs and everything, but overall, these seats are still very nice. It has the nice M3 logo there that lights up when you turn the car on. So yes, overall, I did troll you guys a little bit. It is not mine, but we are going to be spending some time with it. It's going to be in the garage for the next week. We're going to be detailing it and getting it all cleaned up and ceramic coated. So I will be making a video on it, kind of going over the process of the detailing phase and everything and kind of getting this thing cleaned up and looking proper. So I'm really excited to spend time with it, get my hands around the car, see what I like, see what I don't like, and just trying to find out, is it really a worthy replacement for the STI? So that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It is really cool to have this in the garage right now. I've been walking out and just checking it out and just getting a feel for it. So yes, there will be future videos on this car. We're going to be modifying it and everything in the future. Obviously, the first thing that we're going to get done is getting it properly dialed in and making it look good. He is going to get tint as well. So it's going to look worlds better just with a few minor things. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, be sure to leave them in the comments below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple. I'll catch you in the next one.